Been a while since I got a new MacBook. Inside of here is a new M5 MacBook Pro. This one is a 14-inch. My previous generation was a 15-inch, so that's something. This one, I also got the anti-glare display, which I haven't had an anti-glare display on a MacBook since, like, I don't even, like Intel, something from Intel when they used to offer it. So that's gonna be interesting to compare as well. And then obviously M5, Thunderbolt 5. I mean, these are always kind of nice unboxing experiences anyways. So pull tab here. Lovely. And I opted for the space black. This is good, the way they did this. Box in the box. And then the beautiful actual MacBook Pro box. No wasted space there. We've also got a pull tab here. Very satisfying. You have to admit, Mo, I mean, in a world where sometimes you pull a pull tab and it doesn't pull properly, you gotta spend way too much money from Apple to get a pull like that, but they are not messing around. This doesn't tell you the specification on the outside of the box at all. And same here. With just the right amount of friction on the lid, still nobody touches Apple in that regard. And I know I'm getting extremely nerdy right now, but see, you need some super healthy profit margins to spend this kind of money on packaging. That's really what it's about. Like, Apple makes so much money that they're like, you know what, we can figure out how to make the perfect packaging. Okay, so here's the laptop. You really don't get much anymore in these packages. A little bit of paperwork. Oh, you get a microfiber cloth. Remember they were selling this independent and I made some sort of like art video, the newly available single line item Apple microfiber cloth. It does have the logo. That's it in there. There is a power brick included. Single Type-C connection. So 96 watt, removable, same stuff. You've seen this before. Because it's a space black variant, you're gonna get a black MagSafe cable and just a very clean, simple unboxing. Now there's some disadvantages to the space black. Even though it looks really cool right away, it is the most likely to acquire fingerprints on a regular basis. Nothing terrible, but you just see them show up and you don't see that on a silver or space gray model. Port variety here, full-size HDMI. One of the reasons to stick to the Pro model, even if you might not need the added horsepower, because like, let's be honest, since Apple got into silicon and we've been in the M series of laptops, like a lot of people can get by with the Air variants. But if you want a full-size HDMI, if you use it on a regular basis and you don't want to use a dongle, the Pro model is where you're at. Thunderbolt 5, SD card slot as well. Other side, MagSafe, Thunderbolt, and analog audio. And this is the first look at the anti-glare, anti-reflective display. Anti-reflective is another pro-con situation where you don't have reflections that could be bothersome, but you lose a little pop on the screen. Perceived brightness, perceived contrast. So I'm not sure how much I'm gonna like it, but for this generation, let's go ahead and try it out and see how it goes. So you know what goes so well with working on your brand new laptop is having a hot cup of coffee, and not just any coffee, but a beautiful cup from our partners over at Cometeer. These guys do it differently. Because of that, you are probably gonna have one of the better coffee experiences of your life. This is master brewed coffee, flash frozen and delivered to you so you cannot mess it up. And it allows for you to instantly make any type of coffee drink that you like, whether it's hot, iced, or espresso style. And you're doing this in seconds, no machine necessary, nothing to clean, just your own cup. Coffee is such a complex thing, and to take the most complex portion out of it, figuring out that chemistry and make it so that you can have coffee at this caliber this fast, that's the science. It's science, Mo. You know about science. Some body on that. Some body on that. You see how easy that process is too? You pop it in, you go, imagine in the morning, I don't care how tired you are. You deserve a proper coffee. But this is what's new, the World Mug Collection. Pick your winner. Whoa, cool packaging here also, look at this. And if you want to catch your own taste of Cometeer's new World Mug experience before it's gone, because it is a limited edition, head over to cometeer.com/unboxtherapy. There's also a link down in the description and you'll get $20 off your first order while supplies last. Guys, do me a favor, give this a shot. I know you're gonna love it. I mean, like nothing has changed, but something has changed. Like this product line has basically looked like this for, well, since M1. So it's been a little while and I've been using the new M5 MacBook Pro, done a little bit of editing, I've done productivity stuff. I wanna give you a little bit of backstory though, because I've been using MacBook Pros now for a while. I've got kind of a catalog over here. I've got this one, the latest is an M5. The one before that, which was a 16-inch, that is an M3. And then these are both M1s, a 14 and a 16. So as you can tell, I've always had some kind of pattern of selecting the 16-inch and then the 14-inch and then the 16 and then the 14. I still don't know which I prefer. It's a question of portability versus screen real estate. Yeah, I just change. What can I say? Like I change over time. But anyway, one of the reasons I brought these out is because I did want to do some comparisons. They're kind of the same forever, but they're also kind of different in some ways, even if it's subtle. They have changed some things about the keyboard here. Around the delete key, you can see it no longer says delete. The return key no longer says return. The shift key no longer says shift. They've kept the words on control option command. They've gotten rid of it on caps lock, tab, and then they've kept it on escape. So they've simplified the keyboard layout. I also want to talk about something that doesn't get mentioned that frequently, which is the difference in trackpad size between the 16-inch and the 14-inch. It's probably one of the biggest differences beyond just portability. So the other thing to mention is the display, and you're probably, I don't know how much you guys can tell. I'm gonna boost up the brightness. Yeah, there's no glare on this thing. I'll give you an example of the alternative, which is the glossy display here, and I'll also boost the brightness for you. And here we've got all kinds of reflections off the table. Like if you have a window nearby, that's effectively what's happening to you, is something like that. And if I just pull this one over, and we got nothing. So it's really effective in that regard. However, if you are head on, it does maybe impact the feeling of contrast a little bit. You see what I mean? You get this kind of added pop with the glossy display. Now keep in mind, this is a previous generation. This is an M3, this is an M5. It should have an advantage there, but I'm just talking about glossy versus matte in general. As far as like anti-glare displays are concerned, I'm pretty happy with this. I just want to say one more thing. I don't know about the black color either. I've ordered it twice now. It gets smudgier than the lighter colors. So maybe just get it in silver, I don't know. Or if you just have to be stealth, get the black, but I just want you to be aware of how smudgy it actually gets. The added benefit with the 14-inch as well is kind of when it's on your lap, it doesn't feel so overwhelming. If you travel with it, if you're in an airport, it's occupying a lot less space in terms of footprint. Battery life is gonna be a little bit worse, most likely, compared to the 16-inch. It's kind of not that big of a difference, and you're shaving like a pound, so it does make a difference for your carry. So looking around the device, one thing you're gonna get with the Pro that you're not gonna get anywhere else is the SD card slot, which is still useful for me. Obviously, a lot of the cameras we shoot on don't even utilize SD card storage media, but some do that I use still, and that's convenient to have. Full-size HDMI is another example of something that is hard to not have. You just end up in circumstances where there's an HDMI cable, you're like, oh yeah, I can do that, I'll plug right in. It's hard now because most people don't even need desktop computers, workstations. These things are arguably overkill comparatively. Like most people can do what they need to do on MacBook Airs and even MacBook Neos. That's where we're at. Mobile chips in laptops 2026, and for most people it's probably okay. There has been a lot of progress, but some of it is invisible to most because it's under the hood and not necessarily external, which is something I wanted to talk about. So this here is a Rocket Extreme from Sabrent. It's a 4 terabyte Thunderbolt 5 SSD. That's effectively what you have is an SSD built into a chassis. You can build them yourself, but the cost is not all that different. At least it wasn't when I purchased this. You're gonna need a Thunderbolt 5 cable, and you're gonna need a Thunderbolt 5 capable MacBook. Now, this is another thing that has improved recently. Is it gonna be a reason for somebody to upgrade from like an M4, M3? Probably not. You probably don't need to do that, but it is something worth talking about. And here we go. Whoa. Big time reads, 5,000 megabytes per second. Oh, big time writes, 5,100 megabytes per second on external storage. Okay, let's see if it matches up with Amorphous Disk Mark. we go even higher. I've actually seen this happen previously where Blackmagic tops out, just the app. Let's do a little disk speed on Thunderbolt 4. Why not? It's crazy within a single generation to have a leap like that. And it's the same equipment, but we're just on the old protocol. This is a real thing, that if this is something you do a lot, move files around really, really big files, is it worth the whole, this is still fast. But I'm just saying, a generational improvement. It's not every single time you get a brand new Thunderbolt. I'm just gonna put that out there, and maybe I'm weird for having an interest in that. Most likely. Oh, I almost forgot one other thing. The 16-inch sounds better. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. Okay, 14, 16. Got more low end, and it's it's like a little bit less harsh. See that cut? Anyway, let me know in the comments which you would go for and why. What are your considerations? And not just for a MacBook, but for a laptop in general. What do you think is the optimum size for a laptop? 14-inch camp or the 16-inch camp, and why? I'm curious.